If your goal is to one day break into one of the most selective tech companies in the world, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Salesforce, OpenAI, you are at the right door. I've worked 7 years at Google and now I dedicate my day-to-day helping people like you get into the most selective companies out there. We are the first application preparation center for big tech sales, and our invaders, the members of our community, get into all the big tech companies out there. For instance, I have a student who made 26,000 more euros on his salary after joining our bootcamp. Another one who made an uplift of more than 80,000 euros in his annual package. Because when you work in big tech companies, especially in sales, you have a fixed salary, a bonus that will make you want to achieve your targets. And the last piece is actions, stock options. Those numbers might seem completely unrealistic to you, but don't worry, it's the same for everyone. We all felt that it was not for us. We all felt at some point that we were not competent enough. I was the first one to have this barrier. But look, today I help dozens of people get in and you can be the next one. So my name is Hugo Colusso. I am a coach, an entrepreneur. I've helped more than 250 people get into the biggest tech companies in the world like Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, HubSpot, LinkedIn, and so on. I am a content creator because I want to educate the market with free content to more than 100,000 followers on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. But before that, I was a Googler. I've worked at Google for 7 years, where I had the most outstanding career in my life. I couldn't believe my eyes with everything that I was surrounded with, whether it was my missions, helping businesses grow online with Google Ads, or helping hundreds of businesses grow with AI and tech infrastructure at Google Cloud. During that time, I evolved almost every year, every 2 years, and successfully passed 17 interviews in competition with Googlers and external people. I started in Google Dublin, the European headquarters, where they hire people from France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Netherlands, and the entire Middle East and Africa region. And I ended up working at Google France as Google Cloud SMB lead. I was the first French guy to launch Google Cloud in the French market for small and medium businesses, mainly startups. Overall, I managed hundreds of millions of euros of budget and deals, and I made it to the President Club, which is the highest reward you can get as a sales rep in Google. If I'm telling you all of this, is first of you to demonstrate how sharing numbers in your presentation have a very big impact, because it goes from something very vague to highlighting yourself, highlighting your skills, and it's not bragging, it's only facts. And I'm telling you this as well because I was a top performer in my company, and all the advice I will give you are there to make you overperform and also love your job. But it was not always easy. When I graduated from a double master in international management and management science, I actually struggled to find a job. My first ambitions was to get into consulting firms like McKinsey, Bain, and BCG. Even though I made it to several rounds of interviews, I never got the job. And at some point, I felt I was not competent enough. I felt I was the problem. I felt the market was so tough. And it is actually tougher and tougher. It was a lack of confidence and a lack of hope that almost made me miss the opportunity of my life. And my life actually changed entirely during my graduation ceremony, where I was lucky enough to find a friend of mine. We were exchange students together in Prague, and he just told me that he landed a job at Google. I was completely shocked because he had a job at Google, and he was the first person I personally knew who landed a job at Google, which was totally out of reach in my head. And the second is that I knew the guy. We worked together. We had group projects together. So I knew he was obviously smart, but he was not a genius. He was not someone I couldn't compete with. And at that moment, my entire perception of careers, of ambitions transformed. I told to myself, okay, if he can, then I can. And by the way, this motto stayed with me during my whole careers. Every move that I make, every opportunity that I got were inspired by others. Because once you see someone do something extraordinary, it makes it actually ordinary and makes you want to get it. So I asked him to help me get there. He referred my CV internally, which is a very strong strategy I will explain a bit later. He helped me review my CV, and he actually shared with me what was his job, what were his missions, and everything else in order for me to understand where I would be applying to. As a result, I prepared like an athlete, and my interview process was pretty long. And 4 months later, I landed my job at Google European headquarters. What seemed totally impossible, even unthinkable, became a reality for me, because I surrounded myself with ambitious people who did what I wanted and who helped me get there. And that's exactly what I will transfer to you. I joined the European headquarters of Google. This is actually the building that I joined. And it was totally crazy. It felt like a dream, because the offices are just the best offices you can find in the entire planet. They invest so heavily in you and in your well-being that everything is made for you to be a top performer at your job. You have free food, free restaurants, massage, areas where you can sleep, where you can play, an entire swimming pool. And by the way, I'm talking about Google, but it's exactly the same in all the other big tech companies like Meta, Microsoft, Salesforce, HubSpot, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, each company has its own culture and its own benefits, but overall, they really serve you the best conditions for you to be the top performer. That's why it's very difficult to get there, because Google receives 2 to 3 million applicants every year. So you might think it's impossible to get there, as I did. And then you realize that all the people who get in have the same strategy, the same approach, and I will make you save 6 months of time by sharing with you how to make it happen. Besides the extraordinary working conditions, I discovered a job that I loved. I discovered that I had impact. I discovered that people were trusting me with very big responsibilities. I was managing a couple of millions of euros, clients, and strategic decisions to help organizations transform. And my manager was trusting me, giving me all the tools and coaching and support that I needed to do my job. I was the entrepreneur of my job, of my business. That's the beauty of being a sales rep in the big tech companies. You help businesses transform on their most strategic foundations. You can basically split the tech sector into 2 families: the ads, the advertisement space, and the rest. That is the tech, the AI, the infrastructure, and the SaaS market. When you are a tech sales in the ads ecosystem, you help businesses grow with advertising investment. At Google, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, Pinterest, many companies recruit salespeople to advise businesses on their growth and on their marketing presence online. And the other side, it's more a transformative technology that help businesses achieve their wildest dreams via AI, cloud, and all the other solutions. And you can do that working at Google, Microsoft, Amazon, OpenAI, Datadog, you name them. So how do you get there? Well, after 7 years of evolution at Google, you can see all my career path here. There's something pretty crazy there that made me develop the skills I needed to be talking to you right now. That is my passion for coaching and for helping people like you get their dream job. And basically, I discovered that I loved coaching, and I trained myself as a Googler to train others, whether it was Googlers, clients, partners. I even joined the Google interview preparation training. So I was a Google interviewer. I saw candidates who made it. I interviewed candidates. Some of them made it, some of them didn't. I joined the Google coaching program for career and self-development. So I coached Googlers on their own personal journey. And basically at some point I wanted to share even more than going to the university. And I decided to take my phone and record the first video ever of myself sharing my tips to get into tech. 100,000 followers later, I decided to create Tech Invaders. That is the first preparation center for applications in big tech sales. We've done 10 bootcamps in France, starting the 11th soon. And it's now time for us to launch into Europe and make you the next talent to join some of the biggest tech companies out there. The next bootcamp will be in October, and it will be the first ever in Europe for only 30 people who are really motivated to get in. So what do? Basically, we have a method that we call the 3M that will transform your mind, that will share with you the method to get there and provide with you the muscle, the training capabilities to build the muscle to get there. We basically help you sell yourself extraordinarily well on your resume, on LinkedIn, but even more during interviews. So for the mindset, you have to be ready to break your mental barriers. We help you get the best jobs in the market, the ones that tick all the boxes. We want you to have the best of the best of the best, whether it is in salary. You can easily make a career of more than 100,000 euros per year. The culture, the missions and responsibilities, the management, the colleagues that are extraordinarily inspiring, a fast evolution, companies that invest in you in order for you to train, and a strong focus on well-being. Because yes, in 2025, you can have a job that ticks all those boxes. By the way, this is some pictures of our trip in Dublin, which is the Silicon Valley of Europe, where you most probably will start your career if you are a junior profile in tech. And then you will go and evolve, whether it is in your home country or in other tech hubs like New York, Singapore, Los Angeles, and so on and so on. The second pillar is the method. So all the big tech companies have the same processes. It really depends on the company if you have 2, 3, 5, 7 interviews, but overall it's the same structure. That's how our program is designed. We'll make you go through a funnel with a step-by-step approach that you just have to follow. Every module has an objective in order for you to plan your career, identify the right company for you. Once you know which companies and which job you want, then we will review job offers so you know what to expect and how to prepare yourself, prepare your stars. Once you know where to apply, you boost your CV, you put it on the grill and you make it look like a top 1% CV. Once your CV is ready, you put everything in place on your LinkedIn strategy in order to get a referral and start finding your allies in those big tech companies you want to join. And don't worry, if you don't have an existing network in big tech, you will have one from the day you join us, and we will train you to expand yours. And finally, the last piece is to train you on your interviews in order for you to become invincible. And that's the strategy for you to have a proper application. The market competition is strong. Well, first because a lot of people are struggling to find a job right now, but also because those companies, they offer the best conditions ever. So a lot of people want to get those jobs. And the ones who will get it are the ones who are the most prepared. That's it. I have put all my knowledge, all my experience, all my tips into an online learning platform with more than 8 hours of content for you to watch, videos after videos, a lot of free resources, CV templates, interview questions, application tracker. You also have access to all the live we do with top talents that we invite from Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, Stripe, and so on. You have access to all the replays, obviously. You first need to go through the HR screening, meaning you need to have a referral, because if you apply online like everyone else, you will fail. There are millions of applicants who can just drop a CV online. You will not do that. We will train you on how to get a VIP invitation to apply into those big tech companies, and that makes the whole difference. Once you apply, you need a CV that is excellent. Every word has its importance. So you will see, we will put your CV on the grill at least 3 or 4 times before you start applying. Because you have the modules to train on your CV, you have our CV tool that is based on AI and that is only available to our members in order for you to customize your CV to every job application you get in. You have the community that will share with you their own views on your CV. And finally, I will deliver to you a complete personalized CV review on a video loom. After that, I will show you, you will look at your CV and feel pretty proud of you, and you will get to a top 1% candidate. That's the first step, getting through the screening process. And after that, you get invited into the first interview. This is where you need to nail it. It's not a random act. Nailing an interview in these companies, it means being ready like an athlete. It means like you are a boxer, putting your gloves on, and you are ready to get on the ring and kick some. We will train you to be the best at nailing your first interview, the HR culture fit, but all the other ones as well, in order for you to reveal your competencies, your skills, in order for you to crack any business cases you will be faced, even brain teasers. Those are the questions that might feel impossible to answer, but trust me, there is a method to answer every question. And obviously for our salespeople out there, we will train you on how to nail your mock interviews, whether it's for SDR, BDRs, account executive, account managers, CSM, and so on. Because yes, you need to be able to talk to a customer and represent the company you work for during the interview process. That's how they assess whether you are a ready, strong candidate that they want to hire or not. If you nail all of these, then you get your offer, you negotiate, and we help you on that piece as well. By the way, all the invaders share their interview questions together. So you have with you not only the method, but also a library of interview questions shared by the community. And actually, this is the last piece, the muscle. Because once you have the method, it's all good, but if you don't train, you will never be a good athlete. You might have the best idea of what is a successful interview. If you don't practice, you will fail. So we provide you with all the necessary environment for you to train. We have our live workshops that I deliver to you, to our small group, where I definitely challenge you during that time. I make you do things you never do in order for you to train yourself, train your brain for all the unexpected. Like I was at Google, expect the unexpected. The more you train yourself, the more you're used to it, and the more you deliver excellent results. And by the way, if you are not here during the workshop, it's fine. You can watch the replay, but I strongly advise you join. So you have the workshops, but you also have the community with which you train. You simulate interviews, mock calls, so that you get real life feedback from people who have the same ambitions, who have been trained by the same methods. Because if you don't ask for feedback and get feedback on the way you answer questions, on the way you present yourself, on the way you crack a business case, I'm sorry, but you will take 6 months or a year to be as good as our students who make it in a month. By the way, we have a Discord that is a central piece of our community where you can talk to each other about salaries, interviews, different companies' processes, and that's a very strong pillar of the Tech Invaders Bootcamp. The Tech Invader community and the network that comes with it is actually the most valued asset of our bootcamp. If you want to join and be one of them, well, from the moment you subscribe and take your seat, you have access to our community, to our content, and you are an invader. Surrounding yourself with people who have high ambitions will make you reach your high ambitions. If you stay with low ambitions people around you, they will make you feel it's not for you. And that's why 99% of people don't get into big techs. We provide you with the network, the ambitions, the skills, the muscles that you need to get there. It's a fast track. It's not a promise. It's not a secret recipe. There is no magic in here. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of discipline. But I can guarantee you that it will make you save time. It will make you feel more comfortable, strong. You will know exactly where you put your foot in, and it will deliver results. On average, our students make 3 to 6 months to get a job. And by the way, if you don't get your first choice directly, it's fine. Your career is long. Maybe it will take an intermediary step to get to Google or Microsoft, but it's okay. We will aim for the biggest one directly because there is no need for you to wait before applying to the company you dream, you know? So jump on our bootcamp. The bootcamp is a 4-week intensive preparation center. But we know you are working or studying on the side, so it's not a full-time online bootcamp. It's 1 hour every week that you join online with me. And on the side, you self-train with the online resources, the videos, the resources, the community, right? First week is to help you plan what is the company you want in order for you to reach your most wildest ambitions and passions. Second week is dedicated to promote yourself on LinkedIn, on the CV, and with the method STAR. Third week is to help you get the first interview by having a referral, which is a VIP invitation. And the last week is dedicated for you to be a strong athlete during interviews. We will simulate interviews in real life and you will get live feedback from me. You will also train with others. If you are not ready to dedicate the time, dedicate the effort, please don't join. We only want people who are motivated and will put the efforts necessary to get there. Obviously, I will challenge you. I will be like a sport coach, making you go to the limit, but always with a smile, always with a good spirit, a good atmosphere, because we are here to learn and play along the way. That's why we have a strong gamification and prizes to win, like a free coaching session with me. We have many testimonies. We have Matthias, who joined as a business developer in HubSpot Paris. Eva, who joined Google as a digital marketing strategist in Wrocław, Poland. We have Van Strassi, who joined Google as well as an account strategist in Dublin. Adebayo, who joined Microsoft in Paris. Jan, who is a bit more senior, who joined Google in Dublin as well. Joshua, who joined Salesforce as a business developer in Toronto, Canada. We have Florian, who joined Google as an account executive at Uber, and so on and so on. That's it. All you have to do is take your seat and trust the process. We have thought about everything for you to be successful. You have to trust yourself that you can do it. You have to trust yourself that it's possible. If you put the right efforts and the right methodology, you will get there. My only goal once you join is that you succeed, and that's why I dedicate my entire life to this project. I'm looking forward to having you join our English Bootcamp. It's a very important step in our expansion and in yours. Join our community, be an invader, and start the next page of your career. Talk to you soon.